Hello, everyone. This is Dan Gramza, and welcome to dangramza.com Market Studies for Thursday, July 30th. Well, we had some concerns in the marketplace. Fed left interest rates unchanged. We have Middle East pressures that are going on, as well as other fundamentals that we talked about in the advanced video. It's gotten cheap enough to find buyers, but do they follow through? That's going to be the issue. Are they going to have reasons to do that? And we've got some fundamental reasons. That's a dark cloud over this marketplace, especially in the stock market. So it's going to be a tough one for things to really change back to the upside. A market going sideways here as it tries to assess what is the situation. I think that's where we are right now. And we may get something new coming out on Thursday that could stimulate this market. But right now, I'm looking for a sideways move in that market. Now, let's take a look at what's going on with these currencies. Let me go back up here a little bit. There we go. Canadian dollar did firm up, but it's not as what we're not what we're seeing in these other currencies, which are weaker. The U.S. dollar is coming back. Is it going to offset the U.S. dollar? I don't see that happening. And the reason is I don't think the fundamentals are there to support the U.S. dollar. And in terms of the currencies, support these currencies. In other words, I'm looking for the US dollar to get stronger. So I'd be very careful if you're on the long side here with the Canadian dollar. When we look at the 10-year notes, we saw yields going up, we saw yields coming down. And right now and yields going up. And that's why we're seeing weaker prices here when it comes to the 10-year notes. Now, that dollar difference there is $312.50. Let's move on though, and let's take a look at what's going on with copper. Not much. Bias still for a move to the upside. Current action, neutral zone. Look for a sideways move in that market. Corn. This is a market that we're seeing some favorable weather conditions. We are getting cheap here. We may see some hedging on this side, but we still have a ways to go, I think, before we see a lot of that type of action in this market. So very interesting setup we got with wheat. We're concerned about what's happening in the Black Sea. So there's some issues about shipment and yields that we're looking at. And when it comes to the wheat market, that dollar difference here between the sell and buy level is $1,300 a contract. Well, those are my thoughts for today. Thank you for joining me. Looking forward to being with you again. And as always, take care.